You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Charger Chat Country. Let's ride.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldogs, in with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
I love when Keenan Allen made fun of him today on social media. It made my life. I love you guys. Hi.
That's the only reason why I brought it up, but let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
All right, gang. Well, we've still got training camp going on. It's happening.
Pads are on.
Padaroonies. Let's go.
We're seeing challenges. We're seeing some interesting matchups, and we're going to talk all about it on this episode, as well as a Bolt Insight, fan focus, and a chunky monkey of an Ask Bolt Fam. But let's start this off. Looking over at Twitter, Taylor Biscotti had this to say: Chargers have their first padded practice Monday. Derwin James is holding in until his contract is done. I'm told it's expected to be finalized any day now.
I was having hope it was going to be today because you saw like Deebo Samuel sign. You see all these guys sign, and usually when that happens, it's a flood.
Right.
It didn't happen. It just didn't happen for us today.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's just like, when is it going to be at the point where it's gone too far?
Yeah.
When do you think? Like this week? If it doesn't get done this week, is that just like this?
I would say by Friday. If it's shit's not done by Friday, I'm going to start getting concerned.
I would only be concerned. I'm honestly like, as long as it happens prior to the season starting, I'm fine with that. Because I mean, honestly, this is just less time for him to have the potential for injury or anything.
I knew you were going to say that. It's a good perspective, because he has been known to not fare well during training camp. That's where we've have lost him in previous seasons. Knock on wood. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is it's a hold in. It's not a hold out. If he was not there, then I would be concerned, because it's like, okay, well, there's obviously something's not clicking, something's not going right. But because he's there and he's still a presence, I'm really not stressed about it. As long as he's got it all figured out by the start of the season, I'm good. But obviously, sooner better than later would be preferred as a fan. All right, well, let's look over at training camp and some of the quotes that have been coming out from training camp. First one here is from Brandon Staley. Regarding the first practice with pads. He said, I like the competition in one-on-ones. We wanted there to be a bunch of them so we could really get a good look at this group. I like the respect and the competition. I thought it was fierce, but I thought there was a lot of respect. There's a lot of good players going one-on-one here. I thought the way we practiced 11-on-11 is indicative of a good team. You got to get used to the pads. This is our first day in them. We'll be in them tomorrow, do a little bit more, but I felt it was a good start.
I like the idea that he said that there's a lot of respect. I don't know if you guys saw the Josh Allen and what happened at the Buffalo Bills training camp, where they're going at each other, and like one of the defensive linemen ran into him and shoved the quarterback who's wearing a red jersey. I'm like, that's not a lot of respect going on over there. So I know it sounds like a kind of a throwaway thing, but the idea that they do respect each other and they're just going to kick each other's asses with respect I like that.
Well, I'll do you one better. There's a video going around now of the Saints with a guy who the Chargers, at least Charger fans, were looking at pretty heavily, Trevor Penning, in the tackle position. There's a video of him getting so hard. Yeah, already getting in fights. Fists are flying. Like they're throwing punches at each other. These are guys on the same team. So seeing the ferocity of like Rashawn Slater going up against Khalil Mack, and Austin Johnson and Zion Johnson going up against each other, and getting some good looks, getting some good talks about these guys.
I just think that the fight stuff is not the vets. It's not going to be the Khalil Macks and the the Slaters, these guys that are established, they have their spot on the roster. The fights come from the newbies, like the guys
Trying
that
to
are
prove something.
fighting to earn a spot. They're still trying to make it in the NFL. Like, can you imagine the intensity that they go into every single practice with? Like, I know Khalil, it looked like he was going hard in those drills, but you're not going to tell me Khalil is going to go all out every single practice. I mean, the guy's a Pro Bowler, like top in a position in the league. He doesn't have to. Like, that's not going to benefit him. He doesn't want to get hurt. These other guys are playing with such intensity that stuff's bound to happen. I personally, I like it. Like, I like seeing that stuff.
Really?
I don't want to be that soft team that is just like, yeah, there's respect 100%. But when you're going at it, if you're going like full out, full tilt, let's go, and you're getting into it, and sometimes it just spills over to after the play. That's just inevitable playing the game of football. They're not playing chess, they're running full speed into each other. You get a little what you feel is a cheap shot, I would expect you to go and defend yourself or defend a teammate or something along those lines. And in reality, like there is a very much offense versus defense in so many ways. They're trying to embarrass each other all practice.
Sure, yeah.
A grown men with a lot of ego that are at the top of their game getting embarrassed, you're not going to I would hope you would respond with some intensity. So I personally, I don't think that the fighting at practice is a bad thing. I don't think it's a sign of disrespect. It can be, absolutely.
Right.
But I think that the idea of respect, I don't think that's because there are no fights. I think that's just an overall kind of the culture and vibe of the squad that we have this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's obviously a testament to Brandon Staley and what he's preached to these players. I mean, he's at the end of every practice, we heard it in the mic'd up. He's like, hey, go shake a hand, go shake a hand. Like I think he's trying to kind of break that aspect of it down stigma, as far as there being a defense versus offense. I think you're right that it is a typical thing. But I feel like, I mean, I'm obviously not there, so I can't say with 100% certainty, but I feel like that's something that Staley is trying to change and, be fierce, but be respectful. Like, understand that, hey, we're all on the same team and we all need to get to the end together. When we celebrate as a team. So, I mean, it's hard to say, but that was his quote. His other quote here on the one-on-ones, when you got Joey and Khalil coming off the edge, that's going to be a must-see, especially those three tackles, Slater, Pipkins, and Storm. It's such great work for them. It's great work for Joey and Khalil, too, because Rashawn is one of the top tackles in all of football, and we think Trey and Storm are really quality tackles. Those guys are going to make each other better. I thought the young guards today showed they have what it takes. They have their head on their shoulders. So, yeah. I mean, again, that the getting the caliber of players like Khalil Mack going up against Rashawn Slater. I mean, Khalil might not have been going like full hundo, but I mean, you could see Rashawn. I mean,
oh no,
he was like almost bent in half.
That rep was 100.
Yeah, and he was frustrated that he got stopped. Like he pulled a little bit at Rashawn's jersey at the end of the play. He was frustrated. He was going for sure. Yeah. And that's what makes you better. I mean, I can't tell you in high school, coaching high school football, the hardest thing is getting decent looking reps from your scout team because you're just going against the guys that aren't good enough to be the starters. That's how it is in high school. That's obviously not the case in the NFL. You're starter on starter the whole time, but it's just it's so good for the health of our whole football team to be going at it. Like Max Crosby is not going to be a scary thought to Storm Norton and Trey Pipkins because they go against Khalil and Joey every single day. I just
dealt with Khalil and Joey. Max Crosby, get out of here.
Yeah. That's not to say that they're never going to
out, holding him back and yawning with the other. Okay,
he just like puts one hand behind his back. I'll get you with one, baby. Let's go.
Swinging his arms like, ooh.
Love it.
Yeah. So obviously, and I don't think Brandon Staley meant this as a dig, but do you think when he's like, you got Rashawn Slater, best tackle in the league, and then, you got Trey and Storm, and they're quality good tackles. They're studs in their own rights.
Yeah. The play speaks for itself. We all knew that for a fact. He's just saying what we all know. I appreciate
not being delusional and lying to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, I don't think he quite meant it as a dig, but reading it was just like, okay.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. Well, another guy that's not like the other, Corey Linsley, was talking about our rookie guard, Zion Johnson, said he's living up to the bill right now. He's the first, it's the first day of pads, but it was everything that we thought. He's a really good player. He's got a ton of raw talent that you can see. He's already put a lot together, and honestly, sky's the limit. He's very talented, and I'm excited to play next to him.
Yeah, I'm glad we have some like legitimate guards right now. Like legitimate guards, an awesome center, awesome left tackle. Like we're going to be able to run the ball so much better this year than we did last year. I just have a feeling. I just know it.
Guys, you wouldn't believe the size of Zion Johnson's arms.
I was just going to say
I saw a
that.
picture of that. Yeah.
No, pictures don't do it justice. In real life, it is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I had Paxton next to him. His arm is like the size of my 5-year-old son.
He's got babies
so
for
terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like even next to the other NFL linemen, his arms stand out. I do not understand the genetics on that man because he's got legs for arms.
What do his legs look like?
They're ridiculous.
Bigger arms.
Yeah, giant arms.
Yeah, they're huge. I don't know.
Yeah.
You get so blinded. I didn't even look at his legs because his arms are right there in your face.
Hey, my arms are up here, buddy.
Hey, eyes up here.
Exactly. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
That I was going to mention that too, because I mean, we've seen rookies that come in and they've got to build, you know, they're big guys. They're usually pretty strong, but it's like once they get into that sophomore, that second, third year, they bulk up. I can't imagine how big Zion Johnson's going to get. Like
a year under that training.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, the guy's just going to be a walking wall of muscle.
Not eating like dorm food the whole time.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
Just
no more
like
ramen.
He's in LA, so he has whatever nutritional expert that he wants. It's
absolutely.
at his fingertips.
Yeah. And the team,
I
team's
can't
got
even
the
imagine.
nutrition experts on their side too.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to see. Looking back over at Twitter, Daniel Popper tweeted out Corey Linsley and said Sebastian Joseph Day is one of the best nose tackles he's gone up against in his 8-year NFL career. Pretty amazing. That's
pretty incredible. Yeah. That's really
maybe
cool.
we have we all knew Sebastian Joseph Day was fantastic, and you know probably the reason why he came to us is because he got hurt last season,
right?
But this is coming from another player.
None of us are in a position to be able to break down a nose tackle. You know,
No,
I'm sorry, but we just can't do that. And if someone's out there like, oh yeah, I know everything there is to know about breaking down these nose tackles. No, because this is not like most guys, you can look at stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like edge rushers, how many sacks do you have? Quarterbacks, how many yards and touchdowns? Like running backs, how many rushing yards? Receivers, how many like you have these stats that you can look at.
Yeah.
The nose tackle, like the interior defensive line, there's not a direct correlation with stat. Like what you're doing is so much more beneficial for the people around you than just your stats. So it's like to hear that from a center, it's like, wow, like what he's doing is maybe he's just consuming double teams every single play and he's so strong that he can hold his ground. Like that's not a stat that you put in on ESPN,
right?
But it's something that center remembers. Like this guy is strong as an ox and I can't move him.
Mm-hmm.
Like those little things that we don't break down. Or maybe there is somebody out there that's a nose tackle specialist that they watch just the nose guard on every play. That'd be cool. But that's why I love hearing this stuff from Corey Linsley. I take that over anything that anyone on YouTube would say. You know what I mean?
Right.
100%.
Yeah, because he's not just our center. He's arguably the best center in the league that has that to say. So
100%.
Great words to hear from our center. And then back over at Taylor Biscotti, tweeted out Chargers center Corey Linsley on rookie Zion Johnson. He's calm, cool, and collected, smart as hell. He's a lot like Justin Herbert.
Dude, what is this? This is our person now. It's like you went Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, all these like super cool, calm and collected, don't get messed up, just like super chill dudes.
Yeah. Guys that don't let their ego get in the way, I'm guessing.
Not the Trevor Penning that we all kind of wanted.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think that what Trevor Penning is doing is a bad thing. He's getting people pissed off playing hard. That's not.
But
a bad
those are
thing.
his teammates, and he has a track record.
Dude.
It's not just being competitive in that moment. That guy does that. We won't talk about Trevor Penning anymore.
No,
we'll continue on this Charger.
We'll see what happens in the regular season, but to hear again, arguably the best center in the league, have great things to say about your rookie guard, and comparing him to Justin Herbert as just being calm, cool, and collected, like, and obviously just built, huge, is great. I think that's the kind of guy that that you definitely want on the guard position. And again, after hearing all the one-on-ones that he went up against and the guys that he was going up against, like, I mean, I don't know if you guys heard, but I saw that, like, he went up against Jerry Tillery and just, like, pancaked him.
Tillery's in trouble, dude.
100%.
Tillery's in trouble, dude.
Yeah, Tillery's been in the league for how long, and he's getting pancaked by Zion Johnson.
Rook.
Yikes. We'll see what happens. Well, if you want pancakes, I would not recommend going over to our website, chargerchat.com. But if you do go over there, you would see we have a member section where you could chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers, ask questions and ask Boltfam, and check out all the sweet merch we have. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right, gang. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight, and I think we're going to see a familiar face.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super lucky to have Jason Reed from Bolt Beat. What is going on, Jason?
You guys are super lucky. I think I'm super lucky. I'm doing great. We had a little bit of a time zone miscommunication, but we're rolling along. We're doing great.
I blew it. Yeah, it was my fault. Absolutely my fault. I apologize. So yeah, man. So we're excited to have you on. You run the Bolt Beat website, and everything you guys do over there is so fantastic. Articles, everything, and we're really excited because we have something coming up with you. And we'll mention it at the end of this interview. But we're really excited. So let's kick it off, man. Like, what are your thoughts so far? Training camp. We got our first day of pads. Things are getting real for the Chargers. How are you feeling about where we're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, things feel real. And just selfishly, running a Chargers website, I'm happy we're out of the dark ages, which is known as the month of July.
Yeah.
Just football content in July is just, few and far between. So I'm happy to get out of that. But as far as camp is concerned, I mean, everything's looking like, we wanted it to look. I mean, we got like today, Zion Johnson looked fantastic. The defense shined week 1, which was kind of expected. Defense kind of always is a little bit ahead of the curve. But you have guys like Dean Leonard, who's been, playing fantastic on that side of the ball. Hearing great things about Pipkins and Norton, that they're both coming along. They're both, progressing. Corey Linsley had the quote today about Sebastian Joseph Day being one of the best nose tackles he's ever lined up against. Like, that's, that's not light. Yeah, that's very exciting. So, last year, I remember the hype of the new offense and Justin Herbert and everything and how exciting that was. This year, I'm more excited about the defense, because defense was the problem last year. And everything we're hearing and everything we're seeing, I haven't got a chance to go out in person yet. My dog's dealing with like an allergic reaction, so I've had to stay home. He'll be okay. But from what I've seen online and what from people have sent me, I've been plugged in. It looks great. Looks fantastic. I'm excited.
Yeah, the social media is killing it. We're getting aspects of everything. We saw the one-on-one, Khalil Mack, Slater. Like, man, that is the battle. And even Rashawn Slater said something like, he's doing moves I've never seen before, which that's crazy to think about, that they're going to be going head-to-head and practicing against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that clip, Tyler Schoon of the Guilty as Charged podcast, great angle, great, it's got like 300,000 views on Twitter now. It was a great clip. And it's just those trench battles, and then your mind starts wandering. You're like, ooh, what does this mean for Joey Bosa? And what does this mean for all these other guys? How it's going to open up, and, Zion getting to learn, and he's going to get put on his ass by some of these great rushers, by the Chargers. But it's, iron sharpens iron, and we got a lot of iron on the Chargers. That's what's so exciting about it.
100%. And it's been really exciting Charger fan wise though, because you wonder what the turnout's going to be. You wonder what it's going to be like with our, because that's the big question around us is like, do we have a fan base? We know there's fans, but are we going to show up at the same time in the same place? Kind of feels like we might be something's happening, something's clicking. Yeah. What are your thoughts on kind of that development, at least what we've seen so far?
So I've always the fan thing has always been an interesting thing, because if we go back to the StubHub days or Dignity Health Sports Park, whatever it's called now,
Yeah.
Those tickets were like absurdly expensive. It was like
Crazy.
a 25,000, seater stadium. It was like $600 to get in. I bought my dad tickets when they played the Cardinals in 2018, and that was like the cheapest game I could find. But the argument I always made to people was like, hey, if there's a Steelers fan in Southern California, they don't get to see the Steelers very often. They're going to be more willing to pay the $500, $600 price point to get in than, a Chargers fan who, there was still some upsetness, towards the move and everything. Totally understand. But this is a new wave. We already saw it last year at SoFi. I don't think there was a single game. Maybe the Raiders game was 50-50, but besides that, Chargers had the advantage in every other game. And this is just more of that excitement building. It's Brandon Staley has created this new culture with Justin Herbert. Telesco's doing a great job. And it's just, you could feel it growing. You could feel the fan base growing, the excitement around the team. And look, LA hadn't had a football team for 2+ decades. So if the Chargers can get this new fan base, this new LA fans that haven't had it, that's what it seems like is happening. So, I mean, I'm on the Chargers Reddit. I don't know if you check out the Reddit, but how often is there like, oh, I'm not a divorced Browns fan here, I'm coming over to the Chargers.
Yeah, that's happening a lot.
Yeah. So it's an exciting time. The fans, they've always been there, but it's exciting. They're starting to show up, and that's just going to snowball into more,
100%. And then, kind of last question about the Charger related stuff is position battles. I think it's so interesting. There's so many options right now of things to look at: running back, right tackle, what that secondary is going to look like. So what is one of the things you really want to see how it unfolds in the next coming weeks?
So my selfish answer that I know is not going to happen is just, I want to see Joe Reed get more looks.
Yeah.
Either at running back or in the passing game. Look, we both have the same last name, same initials. He wears my favorite number. I just want him to succeed so I could buy his jersey. I think the most interesting answer, and it's kind of a cop-out, is the right tackle position, because, we had Storm Norton, who, if you look at his overall numbers last year, like his overall numbers were bad. Yes. But if you look at like game by game, it was almost like he'd be pretty good and then really bad. And then, so it was like those really, really bad games he wasn't consistent enough. So
yeah.
If he can get better, if Pipkins can finally be, people forget they drafted him as a developmental right tackle. Yeah, it's taken longer to develop him than they thought, but he was always an unfinished product coming in, so he has that ceiling. The team saw that ceiling back in the day. So if one of them can just be an average right tackle with the rest of the offensive line, like that's a top 3, top 5 offensive line in the sport. And like, imagine saying that 3 years ago. We've come such a long way.
No, for sure, man. It's exciting. We'll see what happens. There's going to be football before we know it. It's just it's so exciting right now. And then what's going on over at Boltbeat? What are you guys doing? What's cranking over there?
Just covering training camp stuff. Some of the quotes we're seeing. Like the Sebastian Joseph Day quote I mentioned earlier. Some of the clips. Once we can get out there and we can actually film our own stuff and kind of put that into article form. And just breaking stuff down as we learn more and more. Right now we're still kind of in the baby steps of training camp. Once preseason rolls around, that's when we could really look at, how these guys are doing in the game, maybe some standout guys that you didn't see, some undrafted free agents, and just kind of analyze the season, and preview the season and get Charger fans even more hyped. And then once the season gets rolling, we're the one-stop shop for, previews and betting content and anything, few and far between. For Chargers. So definitely check us out, Boltbeat.com. We're obviously partnered with Charger Chat. It's a dynamic duo. I love it. You guys are great. So yeah, check out Boltbeat if you haven't already. I sometimes have wrong opinions and stuff, but I think I'm a pretty decent writer. So
a very, very decent writer, in my opinion. And that leads us to the last thing. We're really excited because we have come together, and now Jason's going to have a segment on our show. So you'll get to hear from him more frequently on our Friday episodes. And we are just thrilled with that partnership. So what are some of the things that, we're going to get to hear from you?
So I'm still workshopping a segment name. I don't want to commit to a certain name right now in this point in time.
Okay.
I weekly stuff. So some stuff we'll see with Boltbeat. And I kind of want to handle it like a reporter's notebook, kind of deal, almost like a column, but in audio form. So if there's a cool story around the Chargers for a week, or if there's a cool story or something I saw from the previous game or whatever it is, of that, I want to explore that, maybe dive in a little bit deep, whether it be stats, whether it be the story behind it. For example, like if we did one this week, Sage Sherritt, the new signing, I'm sure I pronounced his last name wrong. He was like an all-state basketball player in high school. He finished 3rd all-time in North Carolina basketball points scored behind 2 NBA players. Like that would be something that would be on the Boltbeat segment. And then to wrap it up, once the season starts, I want to do some like betting preview content, against the spread, point total, maybe some props you can check out for the week. Try to get people to win some money because, I like to gamble a little bit, especially during the football season. So if I could pass on my knowledge that I think is good, maybe we can help everyone out in the process.
I'll take all the help I can get. So we're thrilled, man. We're excited. Can't wait to hear more from you. And yeah, man, this is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited. Check us out, boltbeat.com. Like I said, on my Twitter at Eat Your Readies, do a little self-promotion here, of course. And just let me know, if once we get these segments rolling, if there's something you like, didn't like, want to change, let me know. Tweet me personally. Don't go at the Charger Chat guys and tell them it's horrible. Tell me it's horrible. It's horrible. It won't be horrible.
It won't be. You'll love it. We guarantee it. So
yes, absolutely.
All right, Jason. Well, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate your time, and we can't wait to get it rolling.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Go Chargers. I'm so stoked. Football season's right around the corner.
Let's do it. Guys. All right, man.
Dude, Jason, let's freaking go, man. I'm excited.
Teammate. Let's go.
Pumped. Bring on Jason, man. Yes. That's going to be really exciting to have him on. And
segment name ideas. Do we have anything? Kyle, anybody?
I don't know. I think it's better to keep it a surprise.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what, folks? If you've got ideas for a segment for Mr. Jason over at Bolt Beat.
Bolt Beat Down, maybe?
Ooh, Bolt Beat Down.
The Bolt Beat Down. Your face.
Yeah. That's his intro. It's just a giant explosion. Bolt Beat Down.
Beat Down. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, if you guys have ideas of the segment title, put it down in the comments. We're open to ideas.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah. Jason, thank you for coming on
brother.
And getting us hyped up over here. Man, this is going to be exciting. Can't wait to see it. Well, let's go on to the next segment. It is Fan Focus. Let's see what fans come in to chat with Kev today.
All right, guys, we're back with another Fan Focus, and we're super lucky to have Eris from The Rift. What is going on, brother?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited to have you. And if you guys don't know, The Rift is an awesome rock band, and the lead singer and guitarist is currently with us. So we're honored. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's an honor to be with you guys. I watch every episode. Thankful you guys do what you do. There was not enough Chargers content in my life, and I'm happy I found you guys. And it makes my week, man. Every time you guys come out with a new episode, man, for sure.
Oh, dude, that means so much. And all right, well, let's kick this bad boy off the way we usually do it, man. How did you become a Charger fan?
Yeah, very much like a lot of the folks on here. My dad was a huge Chargers fan, so I was kind of bred into it. Sundays, the game would be on, and I kind of just grew into it as a kid. And we would play backyard football with our neighbors in the cul-de-sac, and we'd all want to be Chargers players, and just became more obsessed with it, over the years, for sure.
Well, and we were talking a little bit beforehand, you're saying you're from LA. So there was a time when there wasn't a team in LA, and talk a little bit about like being a San Diego Charger fan, living in LA, and then the move when they came to you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my experience was kind of funny. So my mom is from San Diego. So we would always go to San Diego, family down there. So it always felt like a second home to me. But yeah, growing up in LA, when I was young, at least the kids that were my age, like we all wanted to be Chargers and root for the Chargers when we were playing, in the neighborhood, backyard football. So it kind of just always felt like it was like Southern California's team. So I just never really understood, I guess, until the Rams and everybody moved back here, people saying that the Chargers didn't have fans in LA, because it seemed that way to me growing up anyway. So yeah, it was sort of unique when they moved up here, and I guess it kind of made me double down as a fan too, because when I would hear the media say like we don't have fans, I was like, no, we do. I exist.
We exist. Exactly, we're here.
Yeah, so I think it made me even get more passionate about it when I would hear them say that, for sure.
Yeah, it's just that narrative pisses me off so much. And the worst, my least favorite part about that whole thing is that it's just Raider fans bring that up when you get in an argument with them on whatever social media and you destroy them, be like, well, at least we have fans. Like, what do you want me to do with that? Like, honestly, we have a ton of fans. Go look at the social media.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy to see training camp. Looks like it's absolutely mob. The energy with the fan base right now is just so cool. It's like very positive and supportive. It's super cool.
No, that's awesome. And then, what are what are you most excited for this season? There's a lot of different aspects, a lot of things. What are you most excited for?
I'm literally counting down the days. I'm crazy excited just to see Staley, in year 2 getting better. I love what he's done to the organization as a whole. Like, I feel like he's just rejuvenated, so much of the team with his energy. It's like, it's contagious, and you can tell people around the building, and, even Telesco seems like fired up, and so obviously, the defense and just Herbert continuing to get better. But I'm really stoked because my dad hasn't been to SoFi, and he's like he's gone through all the heartbreak, and he's really excited for this year. But I'm taking him to the Jags game.
Awesome.
So, yeah. I can't wait for that.
Dude, it is one of the coolest stadiums I've ever been to in my entire life. You're going to love it.
Yeah, it's super sick, man. I can't wait.
All right, cool. Well, my last question for you is music related. So we've had a couple theme songs for the Chargers. We had the 70s, 80s, the like the old like funky kind of thing. Yeah. And then we had the POD version, which was awesome, like just a heavier version.
Cool.
But that's pretty much it. Like, how hard is it to like make a song for a team? That must be difficult.
I feel like it needs to, like, the Chargers have so much cool, stuff going for them. I mean, obviously Thunderstruck, when they come out with that, right? Is like, that's like I don't know that you can get more perfect than that, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think there needs to be more music. I'm working on something right now. That'll be cool. But yeah, it's got to be in that kind of Thunderstruck, at least for me, kind of vibe. Just playing with the whole lightning, electric. I love that. It doesn't get much cooler than that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love it. I look forward to your new music and what you got going on. So if people want to go check out your music, where can they find all your stuff?
Yeah, if you just look out The Rift on Spotify, you can find us there. I'm always on our Twitter, so it's just The Rift Music on Twitter. And yeah, if you guys want, we're in this like contest to win a slot at the Hollywood Bowl. So go check that out. It's in our Twitter profile. Vote for us. Be super helpful. So many Charger fans have already, and thank you guys. But if we win, I'll win a Chargers Chat T-shirt on stage, man.
Dude! Cool. All right, okay, guys. So if homework for all the Charger Chat listeners, go to The Rift on Twitter, go vote for them so they can open up that concert, dude. Because that would be sick. That would be so sick.
Yeah. So just go through Facebook, because otherwise it does some weird stuff. But just use the Facebook one.
All right, go to Facebook. Homework, you got this. So, all right, man. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. It was great meeting you, and hopefully we can do it in person.
Right on, man. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
All right, folks. You heard him. There's some you got to do something. All right.
We have won Justin Herbert so many awards. Okay. Let's just put our heads together.
We know we can do it. Yeah.
We have done it. Guys, come on. Let's go. We're going to put a description in YouTube, a description of where you can go.
Yes.
Click it, get him on stage, get them on stage. Their music's awesome. And he's going to wear a Charger Chat shirt. Like, okay. Yeah. Sign me up.
We have to make this happen.
All right.
If there's anything that the Bolt fam is known for, it's for helping each other out. So take a couple seconds, vote for our guys, The Rift and Eris. I can't wait to see this, dude. This would be pretty amazing. Sick. So
and a new theme song. I'll take one of those all day. Yeah. And if it's anything,
their music of a new theme song,
their style of music, and this, like, if there's a wall, I'm running through it. That's for sure.
100%. So Eris, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for coming on and chatting with Kevin. That was just
we appreciate
so damn cool. Cool. All right, gang. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It's a chunky fan focus.
Thick.
get comfy. Pop your popcorn. Get your orange juice. Whatever you got to do, because we're going in.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy. That's right, gang. It is time for Ask Boltfam, and there are so many. There's so many. There's so many. Let's start it off with our old favorite, Boltville 714.
Yes.
Who asked the question? So I'm currently cross-faded at SoFi Stadium waiting for this weird team called the Red Hot Chili Peppers or something like that to play. Not sure why, but it's kind of weird. Definitely different from what I remember Chargers games being like. How will I get home? Anyways, f*** those pirate hookers and their bitch-ass QB. Can't love you, bye. Oh, update. Somehow I made it to my buddy's house. Bolt the up.
Dude, I heard that Chili Peppers played at SoFi. I was so jealous, dude.
That probably was rocking, yeah.
Oh my God, that's one of the bands I haven't really gotten to see live yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
I need that in my life.
Well, you missed it. You blew it.
You blew it.
You could have been there with our boy.
Blowing it here, blowing it there, blowing it everywhere.
You know how most quarterbacks, Kevin Lake's blowing it.
I'm blowing it. I blew it.
He's a professional blower. Anyways, you were saying.
Yeah. You know how most quarterbacks that you hate are like really good, right?
Yeah.
It's like Tom Brady. You hate Tom Brady
because
he
he's
just
really
wins
good
all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you hate Aaron Rodgers because he's really good and
Yeah.
he just looks like he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
But like Derek Carr's like he's not any good. Why is he always on our mind?
I don't know.
We hate him so much.
Because you know why?
I hate him
You know
too.
why?
Well,
Because he's talking trash.
Good talk trash. He doesn't shut up. Yeah, if you would just shut up, like I don't think anyone would hate him. He's got just like he's just a very vanilla, blah, mediocre quarterback.
I don't know why you don't like me, Kyle. I just like to talk trash.
Talk trash.
Talk trash.
It's the Raider fans that put him on a pedestal, and you just look at him and what they say. You're like, you're just dumb.
Delusional.
You're
just dumb.
Living in hope and dying in despair. But
right.
Boltville 714. I'm glad you found a ride home. And
Yes,
great success.
And hope it was an awesome concert. Let's
Good
move it
couch
on now.
at your buddy's house.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question.
How much more do you love Derwin James after seeing him at training camp? Yes, he's not training because of contract extension talks, but he's doing so much more than any other players have done in the past when waiting for a contract extension. He's there for the team, and it's this type of player that we need on this team, putting this team before his own financial gain. He could easily hold out like other players have done, but chooses not to. I really hope the Chargers come to an agreement soon. A random one now. If you could make a mascot for the Chargers, what would be its name? And what would it look like? As always, bolt up. Bring on week 1 against the Faders. Family trust, respect. K-love you, bye.
Nice. I have an idea.
Ooh,
I would call him the Boltaholic, and he'd have a mini keg as a backpack, and he would come around and give you beer, free beer. The
What does he look
Boltaholic.
like? A lightning bolt?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You hadn't thought that far?
No. Just the beer.
I just want
food
beer.
I just want a beer so bad right
I
now.
just
guys.
want free beer.
Just want a beer.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know. It's funny. I was just talking to our boy Tony James recently on Twitter. We were messaging back and forth and talking about the old Chargers logo with the horse. I would kind of like to bring that back because
a horse.
I mean, you look at the Broncos, right? And they've got this oddly white horse with this weird orange mane. It's weird looking. I would like to bring back an electric horse. I would like to see like something that Thor would ride like through the clouds, like thunderstorms under its hooves. Yeah. And like lightning shooting out of its eyes. And I don't know what you would call it though. What would you call that? Mjolnir?
Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit.
Bolt
Probably
biscuit?
Thunderbolt.
Bolt biscuit. Bolt biscuit.
Thunderbolt's good.
Thunderbolt, I think, would be like
Thunderbolt.
If we're being serious, Thunderbolt. If we're not, then yes, Thunderbolt
biscuit. Thunder
Bolt
biscuit.
Yeah, that's my opinion. I think.
But
I think
we got
put,
some.
like
We've got some great ones. There's like Bolt Man, who's got like the full on suit.
Bolt guy.
person,
Bolt guy.
dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on
Bolter.
for an interview. I'm trying to do like a series where we bring on the mascots because
Yes.
there's like people that are doing like
There
there's
are,
a
yeah.
Thor. There's like there's all kinds of people that are cosplaying it, and I love everything about it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options out there. Those are some of ours. What are yours? What are some of yours, folks? I want to hear it because I mean, there's a lot of creative people out there. I think you guys came up with some good mascot ideas.
Boltaholic. It is.
Kevin Gibson, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Philip, who asks the question. In your opinion, what is actually happening in contract talks for Derwin? Are two sides physically talking every day, emailing back and forth? Is it a give and take with long pauses where one team is just waiting for the other side's counter? How does it work? K, love you, bye.
I wish I knew. I feel like there's just some small little talking points. I'd imagine if he's there, they've already agreed on roughly what the number is. Now it's just the stipulations and the contract. How much is guaranteed? What are some of the clauses? Like that's all the last minute stuff. Because even was it Biscotti said that something's imminent, something's coming
any day now.
Any day now. So I think it's we do not sign Derwin James. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Right, it's gonna happen.
He was a part of the shovel ceremony of like the breaking ground on our new training facility.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have him come out there if you're not planning on signing him. So it's coming.
It's hard. You're creating a brand. You're setting this new standard for safeties in the NFL, right? So it's like anytime you're creating the highest paid player at that position in NFL history, there's a lot of details that have never happened before. So it's like I can't even imagine the little tiny stipulations that they're talking about and how this and that goes. And like, I don't know, it's just, it's a contract that's never been done. It's the biggest one in safety history. So yeah, it's going to take some time. I just honestly don't know why it took so long to get it done. I guess maybe they wanted to see how their money was after the free agency, but I just feel like regardless, he's going to be the highest paid. It just should have got done a while ago.
It feels like this is probably more of the agent side dragging their feet to see what happened. You know what I mean? I'd imagine if the Chargers had their way, they probably made an offer like, this is what we're wanting to do. They probably came to the table first. And now like it was back and forth. Now it's just sitting with the agent. That's, whenever you watch movies about this stuff, like that's usually what's happening. The agent's trying to like get more money for his client or do something.
Agent doesn't care about the team. They just care about their player.
They care about being an agent. They want other players to sign with them. So they got to get the best contract. They got to like get the best stuff in it so they can brag about it. So I think that's what it is.
Just so they can brag about it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm the best. I'm the best.
I'm the best. I talk trash.
I talk trash. Eyeliner.
So Philip, bottom line, we don't know. We don't know what's going on, but if
it's imminent,
educated guess.
Yeah. If anything,
inevitable.
If we can believe Taylor Biscotti, it's coming soon. So yeah, just hang tight. It'll happen.
And Biscotti, we trust.
So thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Pink Unicorn, who asked the question. With Pipkins going into the last year on his rookie deal, what does he have to do to earn another contract? Congrats to Coach on the baby boy. I hope you're getting some sleep. Kay, love you. Bye.
Thank you.
How's the sleep going, Kai?
Thank you, Mr. Unicorn. Sleep's okay. The baby is not the issue. It's the 2-year-old. 2-year-old is in a hardcore
son of
a rebellion right now.
Yeah,
so
the terrible 2-year-old
anti-sleep.
Yeah, 2-year-old sleep regression is no joke. They just do what they want. So, mom's with the baby, so I'm with the 2-year-old. So here we are. Here is what we're doing. I was talking to Adam before the show. It's like I'm not tired anymore. This is just the new reality. This is the new.
This is the new you.
The homeostasis has just changed. Like my homeostasis is just tired, and now it's just if I'm like dead tired or not that tired. That's like where the swing can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just embrace it. Embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Because I'm told it gets better. I haven't gotten to that part where it gets better yet, but I'm told it gets better.
Any day now.
When it gets better, you're so old you wake up like 4 times a night to go pee. That's when it gets better. So
you're like changing diapers in your dreams, like, whoa, what happened?
And everyone was always like, oh, if you want to be healthy, take care of your body. You've got to make sure you get this much sleep. I'm like, go screw yourself, dude. Like, I don't have that option. Like this, it's great if I'm trying to take care of my body. I don't get the choice to just sleep 10 hours a day.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
You stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
All right. Well, the question wasn't so much about your sleep, but more about
we went on that.
What Pipkins has to do.
I'm fired up about sleep.
What does he have to do to earn another contract?
I don't know. I think when they drafted him, they just wanted him to get better. So he's doing that. Now, does he get another? I think he just has to improve. I think if he improves, there's the potential to give him another contract. It's not going to be big.
Right.
He might get another 2-year deal for a couple $1 million. I don't think it's going to be anything massive. Now, if he comes out, starts, and kills it, I think he's gone. I just don't think that we're going to pay him big money to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
With what we've paid everyone else, I don't think we have the money to pay Trey Pipkins for one good season.
Right.
But I think if he has like a mediocre season, I could see if he doesn't draw a lot of interest in the free agent market, I could see a potential short little deal. But I don't know. With what I have now, I don't know. It's just so tricky with how much we've paid everyone and fake like money that you're allowed to use and spread out. I don't know anymore. I feel lost.
I think it's the ideal situation for me is that he plays so well this year that he's a starter. He plays so well this year that he prices himself out of us getting him. Because I'm okay with that. Like if he has a fantastic year, okay, cool. We'll draft a right tackle next year because we've gone offensive line every year so far. So invest in another one. So let's just have the best season we can with him. I'm not even thinking about an extension. I just want to see him get on the field.
Right.
I think Pipkins will get another contract somewhere, right? I think he's only gotten better these last couple of years from the small sample size that we have. He's gotten better.
Yeah.
So somebody will take a chance. It's not to say that he'll be a starter. That's not the question. It's just he's going to get another contract. I just think he's got to get better this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he does out there. If he plays good enough to stick around with the Chargers, or plays too good and ends up somewhere else. So
give me that, all of that.
Okay, that's
all of it.
That's what Kevin wants. So Pink Unicorn, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to DHBC Oklahoma, who asked the question.
I've been doing some scouting on the Locked On Podcast Network, #free plug, and I've noticed that the Donkeys, Raiders, and Mahomies are having O-line trouble early in camp. Coach, how adventurous is it to not have O-line issues during training camp?
Advantageous?
Advantageous.
What did I say?
Adventurous.
Adventurous.
Well, it could be. I'm an old man. Leave me the fuck alone. Christ.
Oh, we're leaving it in. Leaving it.
All right. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the football is won and lost in the trenches. That's just what I believe. Obviously, you need good quarterbacks and this and that and the other, but you can have the best quarterback in the world without an offensive line. You're going to be in deep doo-doo. We've seen it a lot. I mean, Phillip Rivers had to endure it. I think Phillip Rivers is the first ballot Hall of Famer if he had a above average offensive line for the majority of his career. So, the fact that teams in our division are struggling in the offensive line department is a huge bump, and that's really encouraging. I heard I was watching NFL Network this morning, and they were going around training camps, and Alex Leatherwood, the first round pick for the Raiders last year, they don't even know where to play him. He's working with the 2s and the 3s and guard and tag. They're just completely. They don't know where you should go.
Yeah. You see that really good when there's a new coaching staff comes in and inherits players, and they're like, "Oh shit, what?" Like they're not locked into that guy.
Why did they pick you?
They weren't responsible for him, so they're not going to commit to him being that right tackle or left tackle, whatever they drafted him for. And now he's on second, third string. Good picking, Raiders.
Yikes. All right. Well, It sounds pretty advantageous there,
if
DHBC.
If they're not, I need to do a little more like listening to these other podcasts and see what's going on with the AFC West. But if this is the narrative and this is what's going on, if you're one of the, you wouldn't be listening to this, but if you're a donkey, a Ray Turd, or a Mahomie, don't watch any of our social media because it'll just give you nightmares. Because what Mac did today, just stay away. It's not
what
good
Mac did and what Slater did and what Zion Johnson did and what Austin Johnson did. It's a lot to be scared
all
about.
in the trench. Am I right?
That's right. DHBC Oklahoma, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Kyle T, who asked the question. To steal a phrase from the Charger social media team, Palms 10-5 says Herbert just burnt your ass. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Do you fellas think that Palmer has the potential to make that decision to extend Keenan in a couple years? Real interesting? Bolt up, K, love you, bye.
I don't know. What are we at? We're still a little ways away from Keenan but once Keenan gets there, he's going to be 12 years in the league. He's going to be on the back end of a wide receiver, like how long they usually play. So I'm curious, if he still has it, they could add him another year or two. But I think they're clearly drafted him in some capacity to be there in the wings.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
it's hard to say because I mean, Keenan has obviously been with the team for going on his 10th year now. It'll be 12 years by the time he gets there. I think it's just really going to depend on how Palmer plays in that time span, like how we utilize him, because you've got Keenan and Mike Williams that are the 1 and 2. How big of an impact can Palmer have as a number 3 to warrant replacing Keenan Allen or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, because that wasn't Keenan's situation. When we drafted Keenan, he was a number 1, right? Or am I remembering that incorrectly?
Keenan was third.
He came in. Well, he was drafted in the 3rd round, but he came in not as like a 1 or 2 guy.
He almost quit. He almost quit his rookie year. He almost wasn't getting the respect. It wasn't getting on the field, and he almost quit football. It was in one of the interviews from a couple years back. So it wasn't all rainbows and sugar plums when Keenan Allen got started with the Chargers. But it wasn't. He wasn't like come in be number 1 guy.
Gotcha.
But I can't say that Palmer is going to replace Keenan Allen.
No,
Palmer has pretty much done nothing in the NFL so far.
Right.
He's had a couple of catches.
Right. That's about it.
That's really about it. So there's no way that I could say that he's going to replace Keenan Allen, who arguably he's a top 5 Chargers receiver all time. So you can't say that. Maybe he will be. He seems to work really, really hard, and he has a lot of tools. But Keenan Allen is an elite wide receiver in the NFL. I can't say that Josh Palmer right now is like, oh yeah, definitely he's going to replace Keenan, make that contract. Now, I don't know if Keenan's getting another contract. Like you said, that many years in the NFL, he's including this year, he's still got 3 years left with the team. Mm-hmm. That's an aged Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell. And that's also when you're going to have to, that's right when you're paying Justin Herbert $1 gajillion.
Yeah.
Yeah. That will be the biggest oof on that.
We'll see decision. What's left after that. Bank breaker.
We'll find out, Kyle T. But thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daniel Llewellyn, who asked the question. What's up, brochachos? So, like, all the reports early on are saying that Deion Leonard is balling out, and so is Jasir Taylor. Do you think they both end up making the final cut? If so, who would be the projected 6 quarterbacks on the roster? Later on, dudes. Yeah, I mean, considering that we just drafted Deion Leonard and Jasir Taylor, they've got to be making the roster, right?
I think
I can't remember the last time we drafted somebody and then
put them
cut
on the practice squad.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, it seemed like we were just swallowing up every cornerback that we possibly could this whole offseason.
Yeah, collect them all. They're all mine.
J.C. Jackson, Bryce Callahan. Then the draft, we went crazy with defensive backs. So yeah, I think it just depends on where we're going to be able to put them as far as, are they a corner? Do you keep multiple guys that are better in the slot, or are they safety types? What are they having a huge impact on special teams? So they become that swing guy that you keep instead of a fullback. There's a lot of stuff. Like to say that we're just going to have 6 corners. Like, we don't know for certain on that. That may be the trend in the past, but I think there's one spot I think that has some wiggle room as far as who's going to be that 6th corner. I think obviously Bryce Callahan, Mike Davis, JC Jackson, Asante Samuel Jr. Those are your 4 like done deals. Those guys are your number 1 options. And then I think Tavon Campbell, I think this coaching staff really likes him. Like, he got a ton of reps last year. I think he's still having a good training camp already so far this first week. So there's just one extra spot. Who becomes that guy? Is it Keemon Hall, who's been on the squad for a while, or is it one of these younger guys? We drafted 2 of them now. Jasir, is he more of a defensive, like a strong safety type that you're going to keep around? I don't know. I think that's going to be a weird back end, bottom of the depth chart battle. I don't think it's one that's going to be viewed as much from the outside and as far as training camp. Like, what's the cornerback 6 competition like? Because those top 4 are so set in stone right now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the roster shapes up at. But I would look more as to what they do during special team periods. Because they have to be able to contribute there. If they can't, a cornerback 6, if you're not a stud on the special teams, you're not making the team.
Yeah.
No matter how good you do against the number 2 offense. Because, I mean, most of these guys, these rookies, they're not going against Justin Herbert. They're not going against Keenan unless they're in like individual drills. Yeah, maybe. But for the most part, most of their reps are going to be against the 2s and 3s. So they got to go show out in special teams to make the team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's part of the fun of training camp and preseason games and everything like that, is seeing who balls out. Deion Leonard is definitely making a name for himself, as is Jasir Taylor. Even Mark Webb, who was injured basically all of last year, there's been rumblings about him as well. So only time will tell.
It's a lot of options, though. That's the thing, is we're not used to having this much depth at this position.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like a 2nd or 3rd string guy that, like, all right, well, we got to promote him. Let's see who of the best of the 2nd stringers can step up and be a starter. Not as much this year.
And maybe Tavon Campbell's not the guy. Maybe the coaching staff does decide to move on for whatever reason. I just don't see that being likely with his familiarity with the system already, because he played so much last year. Having a backup that has at least some comfortability with it. But maybe they do move on and go to that younger, up and coming kind of talent.
100%. Daniel Llewellyn, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bolt fan since 1999, who asked the question.
Gonna party like it's 1999.
Oh, why do you think our defense is gelling so fast? Hoo-ha! Good coaching or players studying film? If Murray and Tranquil go in game 1 or 2, do you guys believe Van Noy and Rita can hold the fort down? Hoo-ha!
Yeah, and Tranquil apparently has a groin thing that coach said isn't long-term, but it's something to be like, what the f***'s going on here? Like, I don't know.
Just seems to not be able to stay healthy.
That's a bummer. Hopefully he comes back quick and they're just playing it like Staley safe, the way they do with all injuries in the like last year. But I think absolutely, you know, Troy Reader and Kyle, if he's asked to step up and do specifically that, absolutely great options. It's another thing, like going off what the last question was. The depth is so much better this year than it was last year.
Yeah,
you know?
quality depth.
There's still some rookie guys that from last year that had to step up that could make an even more of a bigger step. You know what I mean? This year,
big time. But why do you think the defense is gelling so fast? Do you think has something to do with the coaching, or just studying film, getting more familiar with the game plan, or the?
I think we have guys that fit our scheme. It's going to click faster.
Yeah.
Right. Last year it was a brand new defense, and it was guys that didn't necessarily fit the defense. So then you're trying to put a square into a round hole. So it's like it's going to take time. And this, you have guys, most of them have been in the system for a whole year, and then you add guys like JC Jackson and Khalil Mack. It's like they're not going to need time to gel. They know what they got to do and they'll get it done.
Right.
Well, and it's exciting for us as fans to get these like marquee name players on the team. What do you think it is for the guys that have to play next to them? I'm sure they're fucking excited. I'm sure like the all-time excitement level to be a Charger actual player right now because there's so many awesome weapons all over the field. And it hasn't been like that for a lot of these guys that have been Chargers in the past.
Right. Like 1999.
Like 1999.
All the way back in 1999. Yeah.
I think, wasn't it Harbaugh? I think we were playing Blitz. Remember the video game? Wasn't it Harbaugh our quarterback in 99? Or was it 2000? Was it not? Is it Jim Harbaugh? Yeah, we had Harbaugh for 1 year. That might have been 99. Maybe.
It might have been.
I'm going to get
we'll never know.
Reamed over the coals in the comments. I know for a fact. Thank you ahead of time for correcting me. I appreciate it.
You had there, Kev.
Yeah, you really swung.
It was Jim Harbaugh. You're right. You're right.
I
started 12 games. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. I know some things.
Well, you and Bolt fans since 1999 know a few things. So
let's go.
Bolt fans since 1999. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Hangry Seth, who asked the question.
How do you feel about our kicking game? Everyone's talking about our offense and defense, but no one's mentioned the kicking game. Any insights? Okay. Love you, bye.
This is exactly why I'm excited about the kicking game. Because no one's talking about it. It's not a concern. Hang time is good, and they're kicking it through the uprights.
Right.
This is what you want from a kicking game, guys. You don't have to worry about who's doing it.
That's right.
Yeah. The shameless positivity behind Tai Long, I think, was
just that shameless positivity.
We can't help it. We can't help it.
There was just I was watching yesterday our Chiefs game at Arrowhead at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah.
And man, we were just beating the dog crap out of them. They had 4 turnovers on their first 4 possessions.
Right, yeah.
We were just beating them up, and then all of a sudden, Tai Long just shanks a punt for like a 15-yard net, just right out of bounds. And I'm watching that back. I'm like, how does a professional punter just shank like that? Like you don't see that.
Not often.
So it's nice. It's nice that I don't know. I liked rooting for Tai Long, but I'm excited for the future.
Yeah. There has been talks about how well J.K. Scott's been, getting hang time on his punts, and
looks like Justin Herbert,
right? And Hopkins kicking it through the uprights from 50 yards out. So
you blew it,
exciting.
Washington. You blew it. Thank you for him. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Justin blew it. Hangry Seth, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Afree, who asked the question. All right, fellas. Come Monday when the pads go on, it is full pedal to the metal football. My question is, when the Dallas Cowboys join us in practice, who's going to be the first one to go home crying to their mommy because they can't get past Slater? Okay, love you, bye.
Joint practices are so much fun. Like they really are. Because it's like, you see what we're watching right now is great. It's head to head. It's them. They're going to get used to playing with each other. Right. And then we're going to get to see the iron sharpened off of each other against these other guys in this practice form where it's one-on-one. You get to look at them. You're not distracted by all the other stuff going on in the field. You get one-on-one. And I think, is it Micah? He's just not going to have a shot at getting back there. I just don't think he's going to get past Mr. Slater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, who do they have on the defense? Randy Gregory and
DeMarcus Lawrence.
And who's
Dante Fowler.
Who's the linebacker they have? I'm trying to remember now. He's a Boise
Micah
State
Parsons.
guy. Not Micah Parsons.
Leighton Vander Esch.
Vander Esch. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Yeah.
It'll be good. Like that was one of the big first tests that he had. Remember? I remember we were at that game.
Besides the Washington game. Yeah.
But yeah, that was when Micah Parsons was just blowing up out of nowhere. Yeah. No one was expecting him to be an edge rusher, and he came out and just kind of tore up the league. So
really caught us.
It'll be nice to see a little bit of revenge for Slater. Like, I mean, now the experience that he has compared to when he played them last, it'll be fun to see how he stacks up.
Absolutely. So, Afree, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Dukes2727, who asked the question. Sup, you crazy motherfuckers. Bolt up. Hope everyone is having a great week. Okay. I was at day 4 training camp. Man, oh man, was it packed. Charger fans everywhere. Bolt family came out and showed so much love. One question: what's been one thing that has stood out to you guys from the training camps up until now? Thanks for everyone. You guys do keep the content coming. Much love and respect. And f*** the Raiders, donkeys, and bitch-ass Chiefs. Okay? Love you, bye.
Okay?
Okay?
Copy.
All right.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for saying thank you. We appreciate
thank you
it.
for the kind words. We always appreciate that.
We really appreciate it, brother.
And as far as something that has stood out from training camp, doesn't have to necessarily be a player.
Kyle probably can answer this better than I can. I've only seen what video they've released. I loved what stood out was how from what I've seen, what's been given to me by the Chargers and random people that posted stuff.
Get to it.
It's a long walk. Okay, just sit down. Sit down for a second.
There's a lot of
is Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and they're working together and just getting better, showing each other stuff like that. That was some of the cooler things, at least for me, is seeing two guys that are at the top of their game still getting better and helping each other get better. Like that, I really took that away from some of the shots I saw online.
Big time.
Yeah. This isn't from when I was at camp, because like I mentioned in last week's episode, I didn't really see a whole lot because I was just standing there sweating by the fence and they were 100 yards away on the other field. But the fact that Isaiah Spiller is getting reps with the number one offense,
promising,
and no other running backs are, that's a big storyline to right off the bat have that kind of trust. And I think they're just throwing him in the fire, see how he does.
Right.
So that's to me is a huge storyline. How Josh Kelly, Larry Rountree, how they respond to that, because they've been giving the Dr. Evil mini-me slide down the bench pretty hard.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy treatment. Yeah, we saw today that Justin Jackson is going to be signing with the Detroit Lions, so he's not part of the conversation anymore. It's just those 4 guys, and to see which one of those guys. Austin Eckler was talking about Joshua Kelly a little bit as far as getting some looks from him, but I mean, the thing that stands out to me, and I mean, this might be a cop-out answer, but it's the fans. It's seeing the fans show up, the interaction they're having with the players, with media, and really letting our team know that, man, we're here, we support you, and the narrative of the no fans is just, it's done, it's gone, put it to bed. Take it over to Washington. That's their thing now. They're the ones that have no fans.
That's all theirs. And did you see Die Hard Bowl Club got Coach Staley his shirt? Same shirt.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes. Rocking it. So hopefully we see that on the practice field.
So there you go. You and Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco now share the same wardrobe. We all do. We all have the same shirts as those guys. It's pretty awesome.
Proud.
All right, Dukes2727, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to JTex33, who asks the question. In an interview with Tom Telesco, Tom was asked about the defensive overhaul that took place this offseason. One word he mentioned was upgrades. Given that there is a general consensus that iron sharpens iron, who do you think that Trey Pipkins and Storm Norton will benefit from practicing with some of the best edge defenders in the NFL? The obvious answer is yes, but will it also impede the offense from being productive in practice if Khalil, Bosa are too much for Pip and Storm? Or will everyone involved benefit? Okay, that was a question for Coach. All right, that was just for Coach. Kevin, this is for you. Chris Hayre and Mad Money Smith talked about Tom Telesco's time with the Colts and how failure to build around Andrew Luck resulted in a short-lived NFL career. One of the best college prospects in NFL history retired at 29. It's a shame. It's a real shame. Telesco has, in his tenure with the Chargers, drafted a plethora of O-linemen, but more so in the last 2 seasons. In Slater, Zion, adding Filer, O'Day, and making Lindsley the highest paid center in the NFL, how big of an eye-opener was seeing Herbert's massive success in his first 2 years in the NFL to Telesco? He has clearly put a giant emphasis on protecting the future of his franchise. Do you think he will continue to do so in the upcoming drafts, or do you think our guys right now are enough? Okay, that was just for Kevin. Wolldog, this is a more personal question. pertaining to your relationship to the guys. How have you managed to keep such a strong friendship with the two of them being hundreds of miles apart while you are living in Idaho? Hindsight being the podcast, but is there more to it than that? Is it the love of the Chargers, or was it something stronger than that strengthened your brother-like relationship with Kevin and Kyle? Now, a fun question for the three of you. I know I'm asking lots of questions. It's what I do. I talk a lot. If the Chargers had an open spot for a water boy and you three were the only candidates allowed to apply, would you apply for the position? How would you be a better water boy than the other two? You would take on the salary that comes along with it and have to move to Los Angeles when needed. Thank you for taking the time and answering my questions, and thank you for being a part of my mornings every Tuesday and Friday. Oh, and a huge you to the Raiders. Okay, love you, bye.
Huge.
That was my attempt at a Donald Trump impersonation. I know there are better ones out there.
It was good. It was solid.
It's fine. It's fine.
It was good.
We made it.
Fine. It's done.
All right. Well, JTex33, my goodness,
these are good. These are great.
These are great questions, and there's a lot to go off. So, Coach, let's start with you.
Yeah. So, as far as the question regarding iron sharpening iron, will it be good for Trey and Storm to go up against the monsters that are Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack? Yeah. I mean, they put things in practice. They put things in place that they won't just ruin practice because Trey and Storm are having a hard time. And I think we're like seeing Trey Pipkins and Storm Norman as just like pieces of paper that Khalil and Joey are just gonna walk right through. It's like at after halftime when the cheerleaders hold the paper and you run through it. It's like go Chargers. Like that's Trey Pipkins for some reason. It's not like they're just gonna be like falling over and picked up and put on Justin Herbert.
Right.
But the only thing it will do is help Storm Norton and Trey Pipkins. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's not as if Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa aren't going to be like, hey, why are you keep doing this? Like, you're doing the same thing. I know you're going to do it, and that's why I keep beating you. They are teammates at the end of the day. Joey and Khalil are going to get better if they get better. So I think it's only a net positive. Now, if they really can't do anything to stop them, you need to know that right now.
Of course.
Because there are pass rushers in the NFL that are just as good as Joey and Khalil. We're going to face Nick Bosa this year. We have Bradley Chubb and the Broncos. Like, we have a lot of great pass rushers we face every single week.
All right.
So if they're really that bad, we need to know. And so this will be an awesome opportunity to highlight that. We can fix play calling. We can give them help, do what we need to do to be able to fix it.
There you go. All right, Kevin, your question.
So I think the big difference is like we saw, Tom Telesco saw the first season when Justin had a very mediocre to very below average offensive line. He was still able to win Rookie of the Year. So as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, I have to fix this. He started going from what he used to do was drafting prospect offensive linemen in the 3rd through 7th round. He cut that shit out real quick, and he went to the 1st round, and he went first round, and it's just been nonstop since there. I don't think we stop because I don't think we have the best offensive line we could have. We're very close, but I still think you still invest in protecting the single biggest and most important part of this team, which is Justin Herbert.
Right.
And like Kyle said earlier, it's all in the trenches. You build that up, and that's in place for 3 to 5 years. Who knows what you can do? Some of the other aspects are going to improve as well. So I love that he's changed his philosophy and has gone all in on offensive linemen in the 1st round because that's where you find the best guys. So I'm glad they're doing that, and I think it's only going to continue.
Big time. As far as the relationship with the guys, I mean, Kevin I've known since high school. Junior year was when we really started to click, and we've just been best buds ever since.
Since 2022 years.
That's right. Going on 22 years. Admittedly, Kyle, I mean, we didn't necessarily have a relationship. I can recall
just a little brother.
Yeah. I mean, I remember working with Kevin and filming you in high school football and going to Nevada to cheer you on. But outside of that, we never really built a relationship. So I think the podcast has obviously strengthened that to a big ton. So as far as keeping it strong, I mean, obviously it's the podcast. Like the podcast basically forces us to check in on each other every week and see, hey, how you doing?
Every
how
day
tired are you
via
today?
text. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I love it. It really, I mean, honestly, folks out there, if you've got people that you're like, man, I wish I had a better relationship with this person, start a podcast.
Just honestly, it's the move.
So find something you have in common, start a podcast, and you will absolutely build that relationship. All right. Now the last question. If the Chargers had an open spot for a water boy, and we are the 3 candidates,
I'll do it. I volunteer as tribute. My wife's not going to be happy.
Leave your family, leave your career.
About 90% of my salary will disappear. 95% of my salary that I make per year will disappear. But sometimes you just gotta just do it. You know what I mean? And say, sorry, honey, we'll figure it out.
Sorry, kids.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. You will stay hydrated because dad's going to bring home tons of water, okay? You'll be fine.
NFL water boy, average salary is $53,000 a year.
Shut up. Okay, well, not 95%. Actually,
that's a decent amount of money, dude. Like, you can live off of $53,000.
But you got to live in Los Angeles. Or at least
that's
close
still
enough.
I don't know. I'll volunteer. I'm going to do it. If it's offered to me, I'm doing it.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm knocking you over to take the job. I'm like, you already have a job and a family.
I vote Adam.
Yeah. Get out of my way.
I vote Adam becomes water boy.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great water boy. Kevin would just try to like chum it up and talk to everyone the whole time.
100%.
Get autographs.
I'd probably get fired in like the first couple days when I start asking for
get
autographs.
details of where everyone's hanging out after practice.
For sure.
And just go full, just like stand by Justin and be his like personal water boy the whole time.
Well, my ultimate goal would go from water boy to chauffeur, bodyguard.
Bigger.
I move up.
Yeah, you've got bigger things. Yeah.
I don't mind being a water boy for the next 30 years. I'm okay with that.
I know. See, I believe that. That's what
I believe that.
Yeah.
You just see me out there with the Gatorade bottle holding like, who wants a squirt? Who wants a squirt?
So good.
You gotta work on your long shots, about your 10-yard water
supportive.
fires.
You're just ready to support anyone.
Right. I'm there to help.
Yeah. Keep it together.
All right. JTex33, thank you for asking all the questions.
Thank you.
Let's move it on now to CD, who asked the question. Which Charger player departure hurt each of you the most?
This year? Because I would say Phil was the hardest for me.
I was going to say, there's not a mention of year, and I mean, it's got to be Phil, right?
Phil/LT. When LT went to the Jets, I was like, pretty crestfallen that he went to the Jets. So I would say Phil to start because I didn't know just wasn't ready for that yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we weren't ready. We weren't ready.
I wasn't prepared.
And yeah, the loss of LT was definitely big, but I don't know. The Phil one just seemed to hurt more because that's your leader. That's your big daddy right there.
Then it worked out. Timing was perfect because then we were in the right situation to have a quarterback for another 15 years. So
yes,
it was that time, but it was still hard.
It was still heartbreaking.
So hard.
So you're not missing anyone that left this last year?
I don't know who left last year. We have so many good guys on this team right now.
Brian,
no, I mean,
can give you a list. Balaga, Limbaugh Joseph, Chris Harris, Jared Cook, Ode Ibushi, Ryan Smith, Sinio Kelemete. You don't miss at all?
I'd say O'Day because he was O'Day probably. If you give me, I say O'Day.
But I feel like we dramatically improved from each of those players.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Kaiser,
Matt Overton because he came on the podcast.
Yeah, Matt was
badass.
Cool guy.
That one hurt.
I miss
even
Matt.
Ryan Smith when we had him on the podcast. That was pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
He just didn't really. He was hurt all year and didn't.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you go. CD, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Benjamin Sanchez.
Certified fresh.
No, because this has been jamming your mom.
Oh, this has been jamming your mom. So he's fresh, but he's not certified because that is a fresh name.
That's right.
Been jamming your mom is back.
Who asked the question?
Thank you. Been jamming your mom.
If Adams couldn't win a Super Bowl with an MVP, better backfield, better line, and a better defense, Why do the Raiders think having a worse line, worse defense, worse QB makes them Super Bowl contenders? I don't get it. Make it make sense.
Been jamming your mom, asking the big questions. I love this. I love your fucking name, dude. I missed you. I missed you from your debut. Fact. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no answer. I don't know.
This is a great way to put it. I'm going to copy and paste this.
Yeah.
Anytime a Raider fan chirps at me about Adams, I'm just going to copy and paste this and send. And I'll tag you, jamming your mom, every time I send this to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's 32 teams in the NFL. Every fan of their team is going to be like, this is our year, or at least like have some kind of glimmer of hope that this could be their year. But yeah, the ones that are chirping that are like, no, man, we're it's, Raiders #1 in the AFC West. It's like, no way, dude. Like, not even
people
close.
have him as like a lot of people have him as the 4th best team in the AFC West.
Yeah. All the smart people have him as
the
4th.
best pundits.
Yeah. Those that have them in the 1st, it's like, you're insane. You are out of your mind if you think that's the case.
What are we looking at? We talked about this before. What on paper are you seeing that we're not seeing?
Can't answer. I have no answer for that question.
No, you can't. You can't argue with a drunk person. So Benjamin Sanchez, thank you for asking the question.
You can try,
so all of
but it never works.
Fans. I mean, all the Raider fans can't argue with them.
Can't argue with them. No, it's just, there's no
stupid.
point. Exactly.
Can't fix stupid.
Benjamin, your mom, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Bollywood Herbert.
You did that just for Kevin.
I know. I love hearing Kevin's laugh. That's my favorite part of the show.
He's about to die.
I know.
I'm turning really red.
Moving on to Bollywood Herbert, who asked the question.
You rubbed the magic surfboard, and it granted you the ability to guarantee any player on the team would have an all-pro caliber season. Who is the player on the Chargers you would choose?
Trey Pipkins
or Storm Norton.
100%. Either one of them.
You just go right to the weakest link because there's pretty much every position we could have an all-pro other than that right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just the weakest link. So let's improve that right away, and then we're good to go.
Then we're off to the races. Right? Yeah.
Or a water boy and fix that by just hiring Adam. That's what you do.
Yeah. Duh.
All pro.
It's all there. It's all right there.
It's all there.
All right. Short and sweet. Bollywood Herbert, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Gruder McBolt.
Gruder.
Who asked the question?
OMG. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. Football is totally back. Sunday is totally meant for football and the mall. Duh. Anyways, my question is, how would you guys build the perfect football player using attributes from current Chargers only? Also, did you guys see Pat McAfee and the boys gush over how many fans attended camp? Okay, I'm totally out. Bolt up, fam, and fuck the Raiders and their fans, especially my lame cousin Becky. Bitch. Can't love you, bye, bitches. Mwah. Becky. You know who you are.
Bitch.
You bitch.
Becky McBolt.
Becky McBitch is more like it.
All right. Cruder. Awesome question. Okay, so we're building a Frankenstein Charger player.
Is it
basically.
Jamal? What's the freak? Jamal Davis's legs all day.
Okay.
Let's just give him the legs.
Give him the legs. Yeah, I like that.
What are we building? Just a specific position or just a football player?
The ultimate
perfect
player.
Football player. So any player that goes down, this guy can come in and
Justin
do
Herbert's
amazing at that position.
Justin Herbert's arm and hair.
And hair. Yeah, the hair's a good touch. I like that.
So legs of Jamal. Yeah. Arm Justin, hair Justin.
But his left arm is Zion Johnson.
Left arm is Zion
Johnson. Right arm of Justin
Herbert. That stiff
Herbert.
arm would be deadly. Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
What else do we got?
Who's got the big chest?
Speed. We're talking speed. Can we add those
go ahead.
attributes?
We'll throw those out
body
there.
parts.
Yeah, we're having fun. Do it.
Braden Fajoko's chest. This is awesome. This is getting so big and strong.
But it's not super fast. Jamal Davis is fast, but he's not 4 too fast.
We don't need 4 too fast when you got legs like that. No one's gonna tackle you. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
But maybe 11 guys could.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes.
Okay, well, then I think we're done. We just did it.
All right.
What about head?
Yeah, we didn't figure out the head. I could go with Justin Herbert's head. He's a smart guy and he's pretty funny.
It's just all of Justin Herbert's
Basically,
head.
Justin Herbert's head, hair, arm, right arm,
Right.
Zion Johnson's left arm, Braden Fajoko's torso, Jamal's legs.
Crazy.
Somebody draw us a picture of what that could look like, please.
Artist renderings.
We'll put that on a
James's
t-shirt. Yeah.
Athleticism.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
And leadership. Sure.
Put that.
Go
We
for
will
it.
put that on a t-shirt and send one just to you, and make it available on our website.
And his celebration is Joey Bosa's teabag.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
This person is
celebration.
teabagging with this configuration.
Yes.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's alive. Gritter McBolt.
Good
Thank
question,
you
dude.
for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Bolt Fam with another chapter from Senior Snappy. The Wolldog story continues. Last we left, I was about to shit my pants, looking for a door. I couldn't figure out which way to go. I picked the door. What
You went
happens
right
next?
into the boss's quarters.
Yeah, right into the head honcho's quarters. What will happen? Let's find out. Desperate for relief, Wolldog, you extend your hand to Eldon's chamber door. Bursting through, you are greeted with blinding light. Figures in glowing white swiftly approach. The noise, the strange smells. What did you get yourself into now? Your eyes adjust, and the figures, they brandish enormous, sharp knives. Well, pero, mi amigo. Who's there? Chef Luisa? Why are you in my cucina? Just right now. I need a toilet. Help? You made a big mistake eating a frijoles machos. That's my brother. Here, try this instead. Is that an exit over there? No, senor. Do not go in there. Ah, but it was too late. Such a man could not stop you from your quest. But in this room, so many people, beautifully attired, dancing to a soft, sweet melody. Hey, Whoopero, come here, bro. I want to shake your hand. I love your work in the extendables. Do that voice for me, Holmes. Gracias. ¿Dónde es los baños? No, dude, that's not it. OMG, is that the Wolldog? Come here and entertain my ladies. But you're in a spicy pickle now, Wolldog. Come this way. It's you, Ricardo. It's like I've heard you in my head for weeks. I observed your journeys with great interest, Wolldog, and now there's someone you should meet. So you completed your read? What's that? The Don is carrying something in his arms. It's Wolldog Jr. Wolldog Jr.! This innocent creature belongs to you? Listen, Senior Don, I need my dog back, and I need to take a shit. Whatever order. Oh, no, Senior Dog. You're not done just yet. Come, henchman, take the animal away. Don't take my dog, man. What now, Wolldog? Will you struggle for Wolldog Jr., knowing it might cost your, and even his, life? Discretion being the better part of valor. Will you seek relief from Montezuma's curse? You can't just soil yourself. This is a nice place, and everyone can see you.
I need to take a shit.
This is now 2 whole chapters with you having to go to the bathroom.
I know, this is a
And
long
relief.
time. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a
Weeks.
strong butthole, but I don't know if it's quite this
4
strong.
weeks. I feel like we're getting these once a month. I feel like each month we're getting a new.
We're getting a new chapter.
At the end of this, we got to put all of this together in one giant
Just
thing.
one giant
Snappy,
thing.
Snappy, please let him go to the bathroom.
For the love of
Next
God,
chapter.
Snappy.
I am like anxious the whole time you're
Yeah.
reading. Like, is he gonna find a bathroom?
Poor
What's
guy.
gonna happen?
I mean, at this point, though, if I mean, at this point, if a pet of mine is being endangered in any way, shape, or form, dignity goes out the window. I'm probably going to shit my pants.
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to happen. So, will I struggle for Will Dog Jr. knowing it might cost Jordan even his life? Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would like.
It seems like this sweet gentleman German man is taking good care of the dog.
Right. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He was
maybe
like,
you go
it's a lot of
finish your
talk,
job and you'll
no
get...
walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you trust him is the question.
I don't know that I do. I was just in a room where, like, in the last chapter, it was like I ended up in a room and everybody left me and I had to take a shit, but there was nobody around to help me and it was all kind of creepy and weird.
Think outside the box. You could use your shit as a weapon.
Oh, there you go.
Think monkeys
Weaponize
do
my
it.
shit.
Monkeys do it. You could either use it on somebody or you could go like crazy and everyone gets scared of you and they just give you your dog back.
Just your poop.
Yeah. Wood pedal.
They may take my perro, but they'll never take my freedom. All right. Yeah, I gotta go for the dog, Senior Snappy. If it means I shit my pants, hey, it wouldn't be the first
You're
time.
gonna weaponize your poop to get your dog back.
Weaponize the shit. Let's see where it goes.
Get the dog.
Yeah,
Let's see where it goes.
You tell me, Senior Snappy, what happens next. So thank you for thank you for the writing and
3-month cliffhanger.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for asking questions and Ask Boltfam. We're getting close to another 2-hour-long episode. As soon as preseason hits, we're going to start getting in the 2-hour territory. But
pray for us.
Pray for us.
Yeah, pray for us and
our families
and our sleep and sanity. But thank you all for asking the questions. You do make this fun, and the laughs from Kyle and Kevin really do make it that much more enjoyable for me.
Too much fun.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
I want
Derwin, sign the contract.
Just get it in.
Derwin, please.
Ink that bad boy.
Do it.
Do you think when it happens, is there going to be news, or is he just going to come off the bus with pads on?
I don't think it will. I think that's the move.
It's like a Groundhog Day situation. When you see Derwin with the pads, then you know.
Show, don't tell.
There you go. We'll see if that's what happens, but that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
K, love you, bye.
K, love you, bye.
K, love you, bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
You've had a long and stressful day. You didn't get that job promotion. Your car got a flat tire. And the slushy machine is broken at Taco Bell, so you can't get your Baja Blast freeze. Sometimes, you just need a hug. That's why we opened the Zion Johnson Professional Hugging Service. We know that hugs are great, and we know how important it is to give not just a good hug, but the best hug. Simply pick your desired hug level. We offer Las Vegas soft to LA hard. No matter what kind of hug you need, we've got it here at Zion Johnson's Professional Hugging Service.